G'day and welcome to This Australian Open Lights. I'm the bloke who walks. We are coming to you somewhat live from our production studios in Melbourne, Australia. And as the Brazilian samba music fades off into the background, welcome to this special episode. Maybe it's the first episode of something regular. This is part of the Spotlight series, and today we're turning the spotlight on our subscribers. Yep, it's the subscriber spotlight and shout out. And just throughout this intro, I'll just quickly go through what's coming up. First topic we'll go into shortly is just an explainer about some of the content, the episodes you've been seeing, which are not really strictly Grand Slam related. Then we'll be going into what was the real purpose of today. Originally, I wanted to just do a promo explaining to everybody, not just subscribers and people who've dropped in and listened for 30 or 40 or seconds or a couple of minutes without subscribing, why you should listen to This Australian Open Life, why you should make this show part of your Grand Slam viewing and listening experience. Going to have a brief talk about live stream strategy, some thoughts I've had for bringing you all some live content as the Australian Open's unfolding. And finally, I'm going to leave it till the end because that's how you get people hooked. Right at the end, we'll be doing the subscriber shout out, it's just a way of thanking those that have hooked in so far in the last three and a half weeks, as we're slowly solidifying a foundation of this show and how it's so far unfolding and panning out. And peppered throughout all of that will be 2 or 3 teasers that have been getting some really nice traction and watch time, and they'll sort of break things up. Right, so that's how things are going to pan out for this episode. Might go slightly longer than I intend. It might go over the 10-minute mark, probably will. Might even go up to 20 or 25 minutes. But playing in the background to keep you visually engaged will be some introductory, some footage that was filmed around Melbourne Park, which we're calling the TripAdvisor episodes. Put on your favourite slippers, light up a smoke, sit outside on the veranda. So that's the mindset we're in. And now we'll go into the first teaser. If you're looking for some unique, topical and content of a different flavour that meets all your demands and expectations of what Grand Slam coverage could be, that also takes you a little bit behind the scenes, well, stick around. You've come to the right place. This Australian Open Life. This is the Spotlight series, the subscriber spotlight and shout out. Stick around and we'll be right back. Welcome back to This Australian Open Life. You're listening to the Spotlight series and a special episode where we turn the spotlight on our subscribers and audience and shout out to them. So the first The first item on today's agenda, I just wanted to do a bit of explainer. You might be wondering why there's a fair bit of non-Grand Slam content appearing. You might be expecting a lot of footage of competition tennis games. You might be expecting some footage of practice. Well, that'd be great if we could bring you that, but we're an alternative media outlet, so we've got to think of different ways to create interest. So we have one of the strategies we've settled on is that we've got an international outlook, and we're setting up this we're setting up our episodes that it has to be something that we think will appeal to someone overseas who's a fan of tennis, a fan of Grand Slams, loves the Australian Open, or tunes in because your interest has peaked when the Grand Slam tournaments come around. And the Australian Open is being the first one of the year. Everyone's always on edge, waiting for the things to get going again after the Christmas break. The players are fresh, the fans are fresh. The media is building it all up as something to look forward to, as they should. So if you're a person who's overseas, who's always wanted to come to the Australian Open, all you know about Melbourne is what you see on ESPN or the footage presented by the local media. We want to take you a little bit behind the curtain, give you some different images and sights and sounds that you would experience as if you were here on the ground, getting around Melbourne for the first time. And there's nothing like being shown around by a local. Well, that's one of our unique selling points. Is this show is created and produced in Melbourne, Australia, and we can bring you the type of coverage and footage and insights that only a true Melbourne local can do for you. So that's the idea. That's one reason why there's some non-Grand Slam content. There's a practical element to it, and we've called this type of footage, we've called these type of episodes TripAdvisor. So if you see more than a couple of 3-minute episodes about trams, well, the reason for that is, if you don't know, that if you are an overseas visitor, and what's one of the first things you do when you land in a place that you've never been to before and you haven't got a car, you're on a bit of a budget, well, you're looking for your cheap transport options. Well, believe it or not, there's a better way than Uber and taxis to get around. And in Melbourne, we've got an extensive tram network, and it's set up every year that you can catch a tram to the Australian Open from the middle of Melbourne's central business district. You can catch a tram for free. They run shuttle services almost every minute from Flinders Street in the middle of Melbourne direct to 2 stops at Melbourne Park. The tram stop, Rod Laver Arena, the tram stop at John Cain Arena, and if you want to get the train, you can get off at the Richmond train station and walk up, which you'll need a paying ticket for. The other practical element, well, Melbourne is one of the best places in the world to walk around and get from one place to the other. We'll be doing a special episode on walking from Flinders Street Station in the middle of the city. It's a quick walk, so we're going to show off sunrise at the Yarra River, which you'd be walking along to get through Birrarung Ma to Melbourne Park and Rod Laver Arena. And the third practical element that this non-Grand Slam content is, it's just setting the scene, really. It's just contributing to the build-up that locals and international visitors, if you can get through our border, that is, the anticipation and the excitement. It's pretty much the first. The Australian Open is the first major event in Melbourne for the year. Although there is the cricket at the MCG. The Australian Open is officially the first, and of course it's the middle of January, so there's a couple of weeks break. There's all the tournament lead up, so it's a little bit about orientation too, just giving again, if you're overseas or interstate, you've never been here, just give you some orientation of how to get around, how to get to Melbourne Park. It's on the edge of the CBD. There's some fantastic backdrops, north, south, east and west, anywhere you look, from wherever you are along your journey to Melbourne Park. There's plenty to see and plenty to look at. So we'll take a break. If you're looking for really unique topical content about the Australian Open Grand Slam, you're settling into the lead up to the next tournament, you've come to the right place, so stick around. We'll just go into another short 90-second teaser. Don't go away, we'll be right back. Welcome back to this Australian Open Life. You're listening to The Bloke Who Walks. We're coming to you somewhat live from our production studios in Melbourne, Australia. So we're about halfway through this episode. So during this segment, we're going to touch on live stream strategy. I just want to share some thoughts that I'm having about how to really make this these episodes really dynamic. Just looking into how I can go about, for those of you that like radio style content, how I can bring something that might be of interest as the Australian Open unfolds. So I've got some thoughts on that I want to share, and the second part of this particular segment, I'm just going to drop into a pre-recorded promo reel for this Australian Open Life, and why you should choose to subscribe and why you should listen to this Australian Open Life. So with regards to live stream, I've been looking into that. I want it to be fairly fluid and dynamic, so I'm just trying to think about the best way to do that. I'll be using open source software for the time being until I can fund something a bit more professional. But my intention is each day of the tournament is to bring at least 1 hour live stream each day. Won't be able to bring you any footage, of course, but looking into how we can bring some commentary around matches that are unfolding, probably be in the form of score updates. If you've got any matches that you want highlighted, the scores or updates around that, please let me know, because I'd rather be doing something that interests one person as opposed to no one. And as the tournament unfolds into the latter stages, into the second week, possibly doing some focus on some doubles tennis and mixed doubles, because when you're a small startup like we are, you want to try and find a niche that's going to be broad and appealing, but still sets you out. apart from everybody else. And it's fair to say that the attention, the traction that we've been getting so far has been very encouraging, and it seems to be we're hitting a few targets in terms of stickiness and traction in terms of viewers and listening. We're looking to build a lot of traction. We want to make these episodes sticky. We want people to stick around, whether they listen for a minute or 2 minutes, a third of an episode, a half of an episode, it's up to them. But we want you all subscribing, and we want you all coming back and listening, because that's the only way we can grow, of course, as we all know. If you're looking for unique and topical content that can't be found anywhere else, you should stick around. You've come to the right place. This Australian Open Life is created and produced in Melbourne, Australia. We'll be back after this short 90-second teaser. And just a brief, as we're in the introduction, a brief explanation about how the publishing calendar is unfolding for the episodes here. Now that we're drawing closer, you'll be getting news bites that'll stay daily at 8:30 a.m. But as we get closer, I'm hoping to bring 8 to 15-minute episodes every day at 4 p.m. Because things are going to be very fluid as draw schedules start to firm up and players are confirmed and schedules are released. So we'll be publishing that sort of information as we can. I can't promise everything. COVID is way out of our editorial brief. There's plenty of places you can go to find out about COVID, and I'd recommend the Tennis Australia website. And definitely from the 1st of January, you'll be seeing 2 to 3 episodes a day, and possibly one of these type of episodes, 10 to 15 minute episodes every day, to cover off all that unfolding news around draw schedules and stats analysis as well, just looking into recent stats. G'day, welcome to the Hit Up. We're down at the Players Village at the Australian Open. If you want to know what the latest news is, you've come to the right place. Let's check out what's going on in the Players Village. And finally on the Hit Up, we'd like to tell you a little bit more about the content coming up in the episodes for this channel. If you've been missing the tennis, change your Grand Slam viewing experience. Tune in to This Australian Open Live. Our tennis coverage includes qualifying, regional events and tournaments, qualifying, metro events and tournaments. Look out for our Spotlight series, Player Watch and Volunteers. In our recent episodes of Player Watch, we put the spotlight on WTA players ranked 100 to 200 in the world, drilling into their stats with game analysis as how those players were performing on breakpoint percentage when serving. And we came up with some interesting and unique discussion points around who has the most or the least mental resilience when facing breakpoint on their serve. And of course, we have our weekly series, The Hit Up, with video coverage Sundays weekly at 4 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Daylight Time. So why not make this Australian Open Live part of your tennis viewing experience? Created and produced in Melbourne, Australia, with coverage of the Australian Open that only a true Melbourne local can deliver. If you're looking forward to summer, tennis fans, Melbourne can't wait to welcome you all back to Melbourne Park for the Australian Open in 2022. We're on site, on hand and on fire. Our episodes are fresh, unique, topical. It's content you simply cannot find anywhere else in one easy to go to place. You're listening to The Hit Up. Don't waste your time trawling into and out of endless streams of apps and websites. Let us do all the hard work for you. It's all in one place here on This Australian Open Live. We have stories in, around and about the lead up and during the Australian Open 2022. It's all in surround sound, 4K video footage. Another simmering summer of international tennis is ahead of us. Why not join us on This Australian Open Live? If you're enjoying the episode so far, subscribe, like and hit the notification bell. Make sure that every episode fresh out of our production studios are never missed. And if you're really enjoying what you're hearing and seeing on This Australian Open Live, show your appreciation by donating a ground pass or part of one. Help us bring you fresh content from on site during the Australian Open 2022 Melbourne Park. And don't forget, it's free to subscribe, it's free to listen, it's free to watch. The Australian Open 2022 runs from the 17th of January to the 30th of January, coming to you from Melbourne, consistently rated the world's most livable city. Our content is immersive, virtual, authentic, original and unique. Make an appointment with us every morning at 8:30 for our news bites. And as we swing into the new year, we'll have 10 to 12 almost 14-minute episodes every weekday, daily at 4 p.m. with The Hit Up every Sunday at 4 o'clock. And make sure that you provide us lots of input and feedback so we can fine-tune our schedule and our editorials towards the type of content that you want to hear in each episode. I'm the bloke who walks. We're based in Melbourne, Australia. Finally, don't forget to subscribe and like this channel. Make sure that you get notified of new episodes whenever they're published and distributed. Thanks for joining us in the Player Village at the Australian Open down at the National Tennis Centre at Melbourne Park. We look forward to bringing you more news from the Australian Open and look forward to receiving your feedback and your comments. Look out for our special Spotlight series, Player Watch. We'll also be highlighting qualifying at regional tournaments in Bendigo and Traralgon. We'll be covering the Wheelchair Opens, the Melbourne Wheelchair Open and the Victorian Wheelchair Open. Thanks for joining us on The Hit Up. We'll see you next time. This Australian Open Life is based in Melbourne, Australia, produced by Wise Words Media and Calumny Films. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us again. This is the final segment for this really different episode of the Spotlight series. This is our Spotlight Shout-Out, and this is where I wanted to take some time to acknowledge the support so far from the subscribers, and it makes sense to me to do that because it is fun. Look, I know myself, it is fun being acknowledged because you take the time to listen, you take the time to take an interest. You're investing your time, and time is something, once you spend it, you never get it back. So I just thought it made sense to do a short little thank you note to those of you that have dropped in so far, just as a way of saying thanks. So again, like everything that's going on the last 3.5 weeks, I'm just looking for the best format. Things are fairly fluid. I'm trying to identify the best content that works for you guys. So if this works well today, I might do it again maybe. So just some random thoughts really. The best audience input per subscriber I'm going to be highlighting, naming the name of your channel. If you've subscribed but you haven't given any feedback in the comments so far, I might just do a little spiel, a 30-second spiel about players from your country, or what I think is my best guess of what country and players from that country you might be interested in. And finally, I just want to flag that your input is very welcome. So if there's anything you'd like me to look into in a future episode, whether it's a player or a tournament or some stats or something random that you've thought of because something we've published or talked about or covered has triggered something for you, please let me know, because I'd rather try to fashion these episodes that reflect what you're interested in. So if I can create something that's of parallel interest between a lot of us, that'll make for better viewing and better audience interest, I guess. Now, I can't promise that I'll always hit the mark, but I'll certainly try. But it makes sense to me to try and create episodes that reflect the interests of those who are taking the time to listen. So it's all pretty egalitarian, the approach here, and apologies if I mispronounce anyone's name, and thanking M. Siraf Nookman, who's been great tapping in for each new episode with the icons of appreciation, indicating that he's pretty happy with what he's hearing so far. The thumbs up for 2022, the Australian Open, and just going through our subscribers since the end of November, when we really started publishing on a regular basis. And again, if you don't hear me acknowledging your subscription, is because I'm looking into my dashboard for users who have made their subscriptions public. So if your name isn't, if you don't hear your name, you haven't made your subscription public. So that's the reason. So I want to say thank you to Ara Halian, a subscriber from late December, and Jesus Reyes, a subscriber from the middle of December, and someone who I think might be fairly local, Carolyn B, who's been giving me some great feedback so far. Thank you. And so looking again through the comments, there's been quite a few that have been really thought-provoking. And one of our earliest subscribers, the local traveller, who, like me, stumbled into the new sunken show court arena that's sprung up on the old Eastern Concourse. Thanks for your thanks for your patronage, mate, and your feedback, much appreciated. Anyone else here that I don't want to miss out? We've had Mitsu vlog, was fantastic a couple of weeks ago. I can't wait to see. I can't wait. AO22 is coming. Thank you for this report. Thank you, Mitsu. Much appreciated. Very encouraging early on. And the local traveller, his feedback was that he got to go inside the show court arena, the new one. Such a good arena. He made a walking video of it on his YouTube channel. So if you want to check out what the local traveller did, because he got a sunny day, and he was quite happy with how that all worked. We've also got an overseas subscriber, X1000 Hyperlapse Travel Channel. A new follower here. Thanks for the great upload. No worries, mate. Thanks for that. And also from overseas, Just Walk Travel ASMR channel. I love to see a well done video. New fan here. Awesome. Thanks so much for that feedback. Really appreciate it. And that was I was incredibly grateful to read feedback from you guys early on. And I just want to highlight, we had a comment here from Pazersi M. I'm not sure if you're a subscriber, but your feedback, a very nice video that I enjoyed watching and a beautiful channel worth following. Oh, a follower from Spain. Good luck. Now, thanks, Pazersi. Spain has so many great tennis players outside of Rafael Nadal, and it's always interesting watching how the Spanish deal with the hard courts. Surfaces away from their favourite clay courts, and we'll be doing we did do a spotlight episode on Nuno Borges from Portugal, but I will be looking to pluck out somebody from Spain. Now, just finishing off this shout out of subscribers, and we've been getting a lot of great feedback and input from Carolyn B. And Carolyn, thanks for your input, and I'm glad that you are happy with the episode about the W-class trams. They did look fantastic. And anyway, so that's just my way of thanking you guys for putting in the time and effort, even though you're just clicking on your mouse and just spending a lazy 2 to 10 minutes watching this content. It's still your time. You're still investing your time and your energy and your attention in these episodes of this show, and I appreciate it very, very much. You can probably tell that there's a lot of effort going into the filming and editing of this content. I did apply for a media accreditation. It got knocked back because you got to be with an established media organisation. But there's plenty of ways to skin a cat. I can't promise that it'll be extremely timely, like instantaneous or within the same 24-hour period it's recorded, but I can promise you that it'll be relevant and unique and topical, and there'll be plenty of stuff around the edges that'll help bring you extra context about what unfolds during a Grand Slam tennis tournament in Melbourne. You've been listening to the Spotlight series. This episode has been the Spotlight on subscribers, and a shout out to you guys. So hope you enjoyed that. It's always fun hearing your name read out or getting some acknowledgement. I know that myself. So it's in that spirit that I thought today I'd just go that step further and acknowledge the subscribers, and for anyone that hasn't subscribed, please do, please like, please show your appreciation. If you're really enjoying the content that you're hearing, why not donate a ground pass that we can get to as many days on site as possible to bring you really unique footage, because it's not just the players, it's not just the crowds, there's also the cultural and leisure aspect of the Australian Open, people enjoying late summer nights in humid hot weather, enjoying all the different types of entertainment and attractions, the kids going into the hospitality tents for the free sunscreen and the free tennis packs, and of course all the different eating facilities that are brought in on site. to grab your Christmas spending dollar. You've been listening to This Australian Open Life. I'm the bloke who walks. We're based in Melbourne, Australia, and we'll chat to you very soon. This Australian Open Life is produced by Wise Words Media and Calumny Films.